Okay, I don't even know where to start. Before Witch Queen, I'm working on the state of fusion rifles, so today's video is about a high impact fusion, Iota Draconis, and honestly, I don't know what to think about it. It's a classic case of when it works really well, but when it doesn't, and it doesn't a lot, it seems somewhat miserable to use. Best I can do with this review is walk through the things I have found, come to a conclusion. I do have some PvE thoughts, and honestly, that's where this thing might be the most beneficial, best utilized. PvE and PvP have very specific perks that you need, and some perks that you would think would be great or decent simply don't work or do well. The high impacts got changed. I'm gonna go through the full changes in a later video, but focusing on the high impacts in this one. They charge slower, and while still strong, require more planning to use effectively. The base charge time has been increased from 0.86 to 1 second. Out of the gate, that's very long. That's felt in-game. A 1 second charge time in the Crucible, most weapons out TTK you before you even get the bolt off. If an SMG gets on you, good luck. Shots per burst reduced from 7 to 5. Again, this is also felt. This means you need to be dead center on your target and then just trust that ghost bullets don't happen, inaccuracy doesn't happen, and more. You should always try to be dead center of your target, of course, obviously, but these don't have any leeway or forgiveness. They reduce the total damage per burst. In playtesting, they found that charging these things in the open is super risky, but charging around corners or otherwise in safety is very effective. This is true, you do have to pre-charge. With the reduced shots per burst, these are now less reliant on stability, so stack on a bit more range. I want to say that again, with some words left out. With reduced shots per burst, these are now less reliant. Sentence over. I do view this as an overall nerf. Nothing about any of this screams, hey, look at me, I'm awesome. And there are two ways to look at this change. Both are right. The first way is the high impacts have been running the show for years. Other fusions haven't been able to breathe. They haven't seen the light of day because of this. All the other fusions had a very tough time with the range and the damage the high impacts push out. Aerontil, Glacioclasm, too good. And all fusions lived within the same range. I covered that a couple times. So you could look at it as maybe it's okay that they got toned down, adjusted, because others have time to shine. They can come out. You have more options now. Now, the second way to look at it is that they were changed in such a way that they don't feel or perform the same. They're changed so much that it's okay to be upset with how they're performing. Night and day difference. They don't perform too well in my experience. You can be both. You can be totally fine with them changing so other fusion archetypes can do better, but also be upset that these aren't really too good. Regardless, there is a cold hard truth about these. Anything that this fusion or any other high impact fusion can do, others do it better. That's what I've found. I have found that there's severe accuracy issues countless times. I ask myself, I wonder, why do I even have this thing in my loadout? One thing is for sure, when they said that you want to spec into range more than stability, they are right, that is true, it translates. There are times when opponents are in my sights, and I think to myself, after that shot is taken, I look at their health like, what is this? A main ingredient, a plug one, lands this kill 10 out of 10 times. And at some of these closer ranges, it feels like I'm taking my shot from over 100 meters. The bolts just kind of ghost. They just kind of slog along. They're inaccurate. This problem means that you need to invest into 4 things. 1, charge time. 2, range. 3, accuracy perks. And 4, certain damage perks. It's only 5 bolts, so it's a base 4 bolt kill. Some perks, damage perks, are going to allow you to squeak out a 3 bolt kill. Your damage with a faster charge time makes no difference for a 4 bolt kill. I haven't gotten to a deep dive in the overall range bands for the different fusion rifles, but I can tell you this. These high impacts aren't leading the charge. They're close to close mid-range fusion rifles because of the inconsistency. Bolts coming out, the adaptives and precision frames, you feel a lot more confident in mid-range. If you're out in the open trying to get off a charge at 20 meters or so, you're pretty much done for. And it feels that even though you do charge behind cover, you come out, the risk reward doesn't feel good because of how inaccurate these truly are. Another important note is how they changed the charge time masterwork and perks like accelerated and liquid coils. They said liquid coils and accelerated coils needed a rework. Both were converted to scale charge time and damage instead of modifying the charge time stat. The final effect is pretty much the same as before, but they won't visibly change the charge time stat in the inspection screen. The adept charge time mod they said felt pointless, and we felt like it would still be balanced against other mods if it didn't reduce the damage. So they changed the functionality to scale charge time directly instead of changing the charge time stat without adjusting the damage. For the charge time masterwork, a fusion rifle's damage is determined by its charge time stat, similar to how others' weapons damage is determined by the rate of fire. Masterworks can only increase weapon stats for performance reasons, so it's not possible to change how charge time maps out to damage without big changes to how the charge time stat works. With the fusion rifle rework, we feel that this masterwork is more viable. It now rarely reduces bolts to kill, so it doesn't feel like a downgrade in the same way it did before. As a player, for these high impacts, since it was changed to a starting 1 second charge time, it now feels like anything that has to do with the charge time is a requirement to place on them. The regular damage is 63 per bolt. With accelerated coils, it's 61 per bolt, but you get a faster charge time. With the charge time masterwork, it goes to 61 per bolt. Again, faster charge time. You can't see how accelerated coils is changing the 1 second charge time, but you know that it's faster. And even if you combine a charge time masterwork with accelerated coils, it's still gonna be a 4 bolt kill. You're almost forced into this. And forced is a very strong word, but why would you want to run the base 1 second charge time when a charge time masterwork gets it to 960, that if you added accelerated, it would get close to 900, which is closer to the original 860 charge time. All for the exact same 4 bolt kill. And I have found with the accuracy issues that it has, any damage that you're gonna be losing from adjusting that charge time, it's not gonna make a difference. It's not gonna make a difference at a distance or even at all. 90% of the time, the bullets are just ghosting. Like, look at this Adept Exile's Curse. This is Adept charge time with accelerated coils. Huge, huge difference. It feels normal. It feels how like I think they should. This is the goal. Stacking charge time to make things a little bit faster, a lot better. So for your barrel, range, full bore is the top pick. Who cares what it does to the handling and stability? More range is more accuracy and aim assist on that burst. After that, small bore, hammer forged, extended barrel. Get the range up. For the battery, accelerated coils first, then projection fuse. For the perks, I've used a ton of different roles. I've focused a ton of engrams, and here are my findings. In the first perk column, we have Feeding Frenzy, Ensemble, and that's better handling and reload when allies are near. Surplus, boosted stats for your charged abilities. Under Pressure, improved stability and accuracy as the mag gets lower. Once the mag hits below 50%, the bonuses start to happen. And you start off spawn in the Crucible with 2 rounds, so it's already procced, it's already up. It grants 25% from that point and then scales to 50% more accuracy on the final bullet or the final round. It also scales up to plus 20 stability on that final shot. Heating up, final blows of this weapon increase accuracy, stability, and improve recoil. Heating up times 1 is 15% more accuracy, 15 stability, 20 recoil direction. Heating up times 2 is 30% accuracy, 30 stability, and 40 recoil direction. Lead from Gold, picking up heavy ammo gives you ammo for this weapon. Perk column 2, Cornered. When 3 enemies are 15 meters and in, your charge time is 900. You get a little bit faster charge time. Frenzy, being in combat for 12 seconds grants 50% more damage, plus 50 handling, and plus 50 reload speed. Harmony activates after a kill with another weapon. You have 3 seconds to switch to the Harmony one, and it lasts for 7 seconds and has 20% more damage. Kickstart, gain bonus damage and charge rate during a slide after sprinting for a short duration. So it's 20% more damage, it's 100 milliseconds faster, so it too goes to 900 charge time. You have to be sprinting for a second and a half, but the buff can expire mid-burst if you don't immediately start charging after your knee slide. Adagio, after defeating a target, this weapon fires, charges, or draws more slowly, but deals increased damage for a brief time. For a fusion rifle, it's 27% more damage, and it gets you to around 1.2 seconds, 1.3, 1.4 charge time. That's not a good look, and this is comical. This right here is liquid coils with Adagio, and it's like a second and a half charge time. Don't do this. That extra damage only exists as a burst damage, a chunk damage, but even at that, it's not too good. You can do your taxes while this thing's charging up. And we have high impact reserves. It can possibly result in a 3 bullet kill if your target's 4 resilience or less on your final round. With the damage changes, it's okay on that final bullet. And I'm gonna start with the Crucible. Again, I've played with multiple roles and combinations, so these perk recommendations are pretty much mission critical to me. The charge time and accuracy need perks. For your barrel, range. Masterwork, charge time. After that, it goes to range. Battery, accelerated. Then after that, it goes to range. For the perks of the Crucible, in node 1, heating up and under pressure. I would normally say something like Surplus 2, and I've used Surplus a ton with this thing. It doesn't really matter because the other perks are going to be way better for a high impact because it's the accuracy that you need. It's the range. Heating up is that plus 15 and then plus 30 accuracy along with stability and recoil direction. And under pressure gives them massive accuracy bonuses along with the stability help. So with Surplus, you're getting a little bit faster, snappier weapon. You're getting a little bit of your stability, but these perks do it better. These two should be the main two that you focus on. And in node 2, Harmony Kickstart, and as a last ditch, high impact reserves. Kickstart gets you the 900 charge time, 20% more damage, a 3 bolt kill. You need to land 3 out of 5, not 4 out of 5. And this does help consistency, actually getting kills. And if you're stacking your charge time, like accelerated, charge time masterwork, you get in that low, mid 800 range. It's ideal. And Harmony meaning you aren't maining the fusion. You aren't just running around with it, you're using your primary. So you get a kill, you have a 3-bolt loaded in for 7 seconds. The extra damage compensates for inaccuracy or base charge time. It's consistency, it actually kills things. The combinations, look at these rolls. On this one, I have accelerated coils, under pressure, and harmony. Get a kill with my primary, have a slightly faster charge time because of accelerated coils. I'm in under pressure most of the time, so it's giving that 25 to 50% more accuracy. That helps the burst to actually connect, and then 20% more damage from harmony. It's a very particular roll to make a high impact perform. Or something like this. It's small bore, charge time masterwork. The best battery I had was particle repeater, but it's under pressure kickstart. Again, kickstart helps the charge time, helps the 3-bolt kill. I'm then also going to be under pressure a ton, helping these bolts land and connect with its accuracy bonuses. This works really well, but another thing that can work just as good, like this one, it's hammer forged rifling, accelerated coils, heating up kickstart. So I have accelerated to help the charge time. There's another charge time reduction and more damage because of kickstart. That's helping secure the first kill. After that, heating up is now procced. Now I'm relying on the accuracy bonuses heating up's giving. It also has stability help. And then of course, in this time frame, I could do another knee slide kickstart. And that transfers right into those accuracy bumps. It's kind of like a loop for your follow-up kills. Charge time, range, accuracy perks first. Then after that, the correct damage perks second, like harmony. And for the Crucible, I can't really recommend these. If you're finding success, then you do you, but I feel like the range isn't good, the accuracy is atrocious, the charge time perks are needed all over it. You need to land those charge time perks, and the risk versus reward isn't really there. They're insanely inaccurate. It gets you killed more often than it gets kills. Use at your own risk. I would actually use adaptives, precisions over these. And remember, if all else fails, Telesto. PvE-wise, you aren't really tied down to the charge time there. We have particle deconstruction, part of the artifact. We can still have some fun with that before Witch Queen comes out. There's nothing wrong with using a high impact with particle deconstruction. The perk set works. I would personally go for Lead from Gold in Node 1, and all other perks work as well, but you're really looking into PvE centered here, and you aren't really focused on feel too much. Yes, the accuracy helps, so if you get under pressure, that works too. But I'll get to the overall combination in a second. You're gonna pair that with Frenzy. There's nothing wrong with it. Because in PvE, I use this Adept Exile's Curse the most. It has Vorpal Weapon, Iodized Battery for 7 rounds, and Adept Big Ones. It's okay there. But if you do use a legendary high impact fusion, that means you're putting down Vex, or you're putting down other fusions that have Vorpal Weapon. They're a little bit more easily accessible. But I would go Frenzy for sure, and Lead from Gold makes a lot of sense because you're probably gonna have a linear fusion with you. Use linear fusion ammo finder. Once you pick up that heavy ammo, you're getting all this total ammo for particle deconstruction. All in all though, again, I have a really tough time recommending it, most high impacts for that matter. All the changes that they got are really piled on, and I feel that if just one thing was just kind of altered or changed in any way, they would be better. If the charge time wasn't 1 second, if the bolts weren't 5, and for whatever reason, they weren't so highly inaccurate. That's why the range stat matters, and they said that. They're pushing you to that. So things like full bore, but you also need your charge time to come down. It's just a mess. It's a tough sell. I do plan to cover all fusions in the sandbox soon, depending on how the content calendar shapes up, so stay tuned for that. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And if you're looking for a new controller, I am partnered with Scuff Gaming. Use the link down below and my code COOL at checkout for a discount. Let's talk about Iota Draconis down below and your overall thoughts on the current high impact class. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.